My name's Pete, and today I'm going to show you guys my watch collection that I've built up as a professional shooter. Now, it's important to realize that I'm not running around willy-nilly buying everything that comes across my way. I did do that when I was a little bit younger and still working in finance, and we made a little bit of money with Bitcoin, and then I made some purchasing decisions that weren't great long-term buys. Now, I've since gotten a little bit wiser looking at, the YouTube channels out there educating us about watches. Now, chances are, if you're watching this on my second channel, that you possibly don't know much about watches, but I'm making this video for what I guess I would consider him a friend, even though we've never met, Charlie from the Luxury Watch Company. I watch a lot of their videos, market insights and stuff like that, and I use that to make my purchasing decisions. So real quick, there are two ways you can go about buying a Rolex watch. You can buy one, what they call on the gray market, which basically means you go to a reseller of the watches that somebody else has sold their watch to. They're now selling it basically secondhand. Some of these watches are still unworn, brand new. Okay, the gray market prices are, let's say, for example, here. Now, because of the crazy demand for some of these watches, the gray market price is significantly higher than the retail price. Now, you might say, Pete, why don't you just buy them all at retail? So yes, that's obviously the goal for everybody, but people don't often get the opportunity to buy them from retail. You see, for some of these watches, they're almost impossible to buy. So when you get a phone call from your AD, which we call the authorized Rolex dealers, okay, so if you're walking in a shopping center, you see big Rolex signs, chances are that might be an authorized Rolex dealer. Now, they are regulated, I guess, by Rolex or controlled by Rolex as to what they can sell these watches at. And if you can buy the right watch from your authorized dealer, that is always going to be for you the best, probably, investment decision that you can make. Now, some people go to the gray market and buy watches because they don't get offered these watches from their ADs. Now, in some countries, the authorized dealers also make you jump through ridiculous hoops, like you have to buy an incredible amount of watches that you may not even want in order to get offered one of the most or the more sort of limited pieces. And a lot of people aren't willing to do that. So if they, for example, want a specific watch, they'll just go straight to the gray market, get it there, even though they're paying a little bit of a premium on that product. So that's important to know. Now, my watches, I've been very fortunate to buy all of my watches from an authorized dealer. So that's important to distinguish. Now, the last watch that I don't actually own anymore, in fact, I just moved that recently. In hindsight, I should have made this video before I moved that watch. In fact, one of my Patreons on my main channel bought that watch from me. It was the titanium No Time to Die Seamaster. I did wear it on the channel quite a bit. Absolutely loved that watch. It was super light piece. It was really cool. Had that Milanese bracelet. I absolutely love that watch. The one problem with that watch for me, the way the bracelet adjusted, it was either just too tight or just too loose, and there wasn't a way to sort of do a fine adjustment. And as a result of that, I didn't enjoy wearing the watch that much because it was either falling around or super tight on my wrist. So when one of my patrons said, hey, I'm looking for one of those watches, I said, well, you can get mine. And we did a really good deal. He did well on it. I did okay. I still lost money on it, but it kind of is what it is. I got the majority of my money back. And that was kind of the catalyst which led to, okay, let's buy the right stuff to make sure we do well long term. And that brings me to my first green bag that you guys see behind me there. Now you're thinking, Pete, why have you got all the bags and the stuff behind you? Well, with these watches, the more you can keep everything as pristine, the more value you will have one day if you try and move that watch ever. Okay, so if I have the bag, the box, the original slip, the paperwork, everything, the little green tag that comes with the watch, it just makes it way more valuable. So I keep everything nice and neat, and that just maximizes the value that if I ever wanted to move a piece, that I can do that. Now, when my wife turned 30, and this is one of the watches that I don't actually have here at the moment because she's out wearing it, I got her a beautiful Datejust 31 for her 30th birthday. She just finished her master's degree, and I was like, it's a lifetime piece. She can hand that down to our daughter one day. Now, at first I got her a sort of mint green dial Jubilee with the fluted face, or the fluted bezel rather. And then another watch actually came in before they registered that, because my wife's a snoopy person. When I bought the watch, I actually kept it at the AD until it was her birthday a few months later, and in that time frame a different watch came in, so I actually ended up getting a Datejust 31 with the dark gray face on the Jubilee with the fluted bezel. I'll show you guys a video of what that looks like. Phenomenal little watch, absolutely looks stunning on her. It's absolutely classy. Now, that watch today is worth about $13,000, give or take. I'm going to give the figures in dollars. Everybody is familiar with the US dollar. And I'm up about 52% on that watch. So if we did sell that watch, I'd make more than 50% profit. So it's an expensive purchase, but there's equity in the watch already. So that's very important to distinguish. Then next up, I possibly am the luckiest person in the world, because my first watch that I bought for myself from my authorized dealer was this. Now, if you know a thing or two about watches, you will know that chances of you getting allocated this watch is absolutely bananas. This is what we call the Panda. Okay, I'll show you guys close-ups of these. This watch has been worn quite a bit. I kind of wear it on special occasions. You know, we'll go out for a nice dinner or something like that. I wear the watch. But the Panda is super special. It's super sought after. This is the new reference number, 116500LN reference. Okay, so I got this in April last year. It is an awesome watch. It is something that if you know watches and you see somebody wearing one of these, this is a statement piece. This also happens to be the watch that is worth the most in my collection. It's worth about $32,000, and I'm up 145% on this watch. So I've done very, very well on this watch. And that's a really cool thing about, you know, investing in stuff like this. You can actually enjoy it, wear it, and you still have that investment growing. And there's actually an app where you can go, you log all your watches, you put in what you've paid for them, and you can track your growth on your watches. Now, I know what some of you guys must be thinking that watch my other channel. You go, Pete, how on earth are you affording these expensive watches? Now, the watches are super expensive, and something that I am very fortunate is that I've been able to buy good watches from my authorized dealer. But I've also in the position where, you know, we look at one of this kind of thing that's standing here behind me, and because I do that for a living, you know, I haven't spent a lot of money acquiring new optics or, you know, actions or chassis or any of those kind of things that go along with the sport. And this watch basically costs what that rifle cost. Okay, we said the word now. But so because I haven't spent money on rifles and reloading things and stuff in years, I've been able to save that money, and instead of, you know, wasting it on other stuff, I've made wise purchasing decisions. So that is where the Panda comes in. On that note, some Rolexes have nicknames, okay? So the white steel face Daytona, which this one is referred to as the Panda. Okay, so that's a really cool little nickname, and you can see why they've called it the Panda. Then we get on to what I wear basically daily. I'd say this is my daily driver, okay? This is a Submariner, okay? So more of a sporty watch, okay? It's considered a dive watch. Really iconic. The Submariner is such a good buy. If you can get a Submariner from an authorized dealer, it really doesn't matter which color one you get. It is a great buy. So this one is called the Starbucks, okay? Appropriately named with the little green circle. There's also one called the Hulk. Some people confuse the two. The difference between the Starbucks and the Hulk is the Starbucks has the black face at the back. Now the Submariner is available in a few colors. I really like the green one, the Starbucks. There's also the black, okay, with the date and the no date option. Either one of those two are really good buys considered. I also personally really like the white gold one with the blue face, and that's the kind of watch where, you know, it's something they call stealth wealth, which is pretty cool because it looks like a normal Submariner, but it is worth a considerable amount more than a regular Submariner, obviously because of the white gold factor. Now this is the reference number 126610, okay? Starbucks, April 2023 is when I picked this guy up. I'm up about 74% on this watch, and it's worth about $16,500 US. Really nice watch. Also, what I love about this, it has this sort of adjustment mechanism. I'm not sure what the technical word is here, but on a hot day, you could easily open the clasp and slide it around and make little micro adjustments and basically set it up to where it is exactly right for your wrist, which I haven't done now. It is now too big, which I will fix after this video. Then my last watch, which is currently unworn, okay, is over here. Now Rolex has a whole bunch of different watches in their lineups. This is from the model range called the GMT range, okay? And this is actually one of their latest watches that have just come out. Let's move this guy off to the side here. Okay. This is a GMT Master in yellow gold and stainless steel. It's got the black and sort of gray ceramic bezel. This watch tracks multiple time zones. I'll give you guys close-ups of these watches. I'll do my best because I haven't made a watch video before, so bear with me, pretty please. This is a phenomenal watch. I love the bimetal and the Jubilee, how this complements each other. Now, why haven't I worn this yet? This, for me, I'm considering a bit more of an investment watch. I probably will wear it at some point, but for now, it is just chilling in the box, completely unworn, so super, super cool. It is such a beautiful color combo. It really complements each other really well, and I should actually start wearing this. It is so pretty. Now, the reference number on this guy is 126713, okay? GRNR. That's the reference on this model. This model's also done relatively well. Generally, what happens with the new models when they come out, there's an initial spike because there's such a demand for them, and then that sort of tapers off. But even on this model, I'm up about 50%, and it's worth about $22,000. So I think overall, if my math's correct, I'm somewhere around the $83,000 mark on the whole portfolio. Let me double check that. Yeah, so overall on the whole portfolio, we're just sort of north of the 83,000 mark. And I'm up as a whole on my portfolio 83%. So it's been a really good sort of investment vehicle for me. Now, some people ask, how do you realize that money? You know, well, it's like anything. If I haven't sold my watches yet, I haven't realized that gain. So it's literally like a gain on the stock market. You only realize that gain once you actually liquidate those shares. Now, the really cool thing for us specifically here in South Africa, obviously our economic climate is very volatile. If I ever had to leave the country, I can basically take $83,000 with me in my carry-on, okay, and leave the country, and nobody's gonna bat an eyelid. And because I've bought the right pieces, if I ever do need to move them quickly, that option is there. So just from a sort of safety point of view, it's a wise move for me. Now, what is next for me on my portfolio? Well, like any watch guy, I've got a bunch of watches on the wish list. Obviously, everybody that buys Rolexes probably wants a Pepsi on a Jubilee, so that's also out of the GMT Master range, but with a red and blue face and then stainless steel. The same bracelet style is what I would want, the Jubilee bracelet. I was actually offered a white gold Pepsi not too long ago, and I decided to skip on it just because I really want the stainless steel Pepsi on the Jubilee. There's rumors they're going to discontinue that. I hope they don't, and they can still make those. Then I would also like to get what they call a Pikachu. Okay, so that is a Daytona in yellow gold on an Oyster Flex bracelet. Absolutely stunning. The Oyster Flex bracelets are extremely comfortable, and it's a beautiful looking watch. So that's also something I consider getting into the future. And then something that I can potentially get allocated relatively shortly is the new Yachtmaster on titanium, which is supposedly even lighter than the No Time to Die Seamaster that I had. So I'm super excited for them to get one of those pieces in. I'm number one on the list with my AD for that. And if I do get allocated one, I think I'm going to go ahead and pick one of those up. Their margin on the gray market is massive at the moment, but again, as I said earlier, that is just that initial demand. I'm never buying watches with the goal to flip them. I try and stick to watches that I think will go up in value long term, and I'm trying to build a watch portfolio, much like I'm trying to build a property portfolio and a share portfolio, and I've got my retirement planning, and I have all those things structured. My watch investment portfolio is very much like my firearm investment portfolio, where it is just that. It is part of the portfolio, but I'm trying to, make smart purchasing decisions. So guys, that's it. As I said, I'm on the fence whether I'm going to release this video on my second channel or not. But if you're watching this on my second channel, then I have done that. So yeah, that's my watch collection. Let me know if you guys like watches. Which one is your favorite? What is on your list that you want to get in the future? Just don't be stupid, buy the right thing, be patient, because if you spend money on watches recklessly like I have in the past, when we were doing well with Bitcoin in 2017, it's very much a case of easy come, easy go, and I made some dumb purchasing decisions, which, hindsight being 2020, I should have never made. Anyway, I hope that helps you guys, and thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.